Hello and welcome to the SpiderNerd.com podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Weber, aka SpiderNerd, the webmaster of the site. And joining me today for our final show of 2013 is Mr. Thomas Patterson.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Thomas?
Good.
Very good. How was your Christmas?
It was excellent.
Definitely. All right. This is the...
I got some pretty cool memorabilia and stuff from my mom, and then I went to my dad's and I got a PS4 here, so it's pretty good Christmas so far.
If you had to choose which parent got you the better gift, which one would you choose?
My dad.
Yeah, I was just going to say, hey, by the way, slip me your dad's email address so I can mention that to him, and then slip me your mom's so that I can get you grounded.
No, it's all good. But my mom was like, yeah, it's stupid to get a PlayStation 4 because it's exactly the same as a PlayStation 3, which just goes to show how out of touch my mother is.
I don't know anything about the PS4, so I can't refute that statement.
It's basically just if you have a really good Alienware laptop, it's basically up to spec with that as of right now. And the PlayStation 3 was up to spec to about a mediocre computer back then.
Okay. I have no idea what you just said because I don't really speak that language, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm
pretty sure there will be a few people that actually understand what I just said.
Yeah, there will probably be some people who are like, "Oh yeah, this guy's a genius," and they'll be like, "Wow, the host is a dumbass." But then, whatever. You know, that's okay if you think that, because I have an IQ of like, what is it? I don't even know. I think it's like 120 something. Possibly.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, I know.
100's about average. I have a 150 something.
You bastard! You bastard! Are you kidding me? Okay. Now I feel really dumb. Yeah, but I make fun of it. I don't really have a low IQ that low, but I just make fun of myself just because I find it entertaining. So, what did I get for Christmas? Well, I got 2 omnibuses. I got the David Michelinie, Todd McFarlane omnibus, which I haven't read any of it yet, but mainly because I've basically read every single one of those issues that's in that omnibus already. But I've looked through it. The art looks good. It's nice. I really like how the omnibuses restore the art and make it really colorful and really pop off the page. I really do like that. I also got the first 40 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man in Omnibus Edition.
Ooh, those are good.
Yeah, I got them for $25 too, so that was pretty good. That's a steal.
Yep.
Because I don't even.
Those omnibuses are expensive.
I know. I mean, literally, I have both Amazing Spider-Man omnibuses, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I paid $60 a piece for them. Which is actually 50% off, because they're actually like...
Yeah, they're in the hundreds. They're up there.
The Roger Stern omnibus, which I pre-ordered from...
Amazon?
No, not Amazon, because Amazon wants to charge me like $100, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Cheap Graphic Novels is where I got it. I pre-ordered...
Well, they're very creative with their name, aren't they?
Yeah. I pre-ordered the Roger Stern omnibus from them, and I got it for like $60, and that's 50% off, because the cover price I think for that omnibus is like $125. It's a big sucker. But it's got over like 1,000 pages in it, and I think the solicits said it actually has like over 50 issues in it. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite a big sucker, but. I pre-ordered that and got it for 50% off, and so at least I'm not paying $100 like Amazon wanted me to, because I was like, no way.
That is ridiculous amount of money.
I was like, that's like $2 an issue, and I'm not doing that.
Well, you buy $4. You buy comics $4 an issue now.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. That's 50% lower than the current cover price, but still, I mean, personally, I think comics should be exactly what they were at the beginning of the 90s, $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Really, yeah. I don't think Marvel should be charging $3.99 for each issue, but...
Of course, there is just a little bit of inflation in between the 90s and now. So $1 was worth a lot more back then.
Yeah, and then of course...
But I've actually done the inflation equivalent, and it would actually be around $2.50 now. approximately, if it was going to stay the same in terms of how much it would be worth. So
I mean,
they're charging you about $1.50 more than they should if they wanted to keep it around the same.
yeah, and I know there's going to be someone who's listening to this show who's probably, like, I mean, I really doubt this, but, like, 10 years down the line when this show is, like, semi-popular, you know, with hobos or whatever, there's going to be some hobo who used to work with Marvel and who says, well, they clearly don't understand, you know, the production costs went up and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. When you charge me money, you piss me off, so...
Well, you know, also the market isn't what it was back then. So back then you could print a whole bunch of issues, and it was really cheap to print a whole bunch of issues, and they'd actually go off the store shelves, whereas now there's not as many people buying them, and they also have to make less for more money. So that's why they probably charge more. It's understandable from a company perspective, but we as the consumers don't really like the fact that they raise prices too much.
Yeah. And, of course, you know, comic books really aren't the biggest superhero medium today because you got the movies and the cartoons and the video games and all that.
Movies by far are the biggest. Yeah, obviously, 1.5 billion different reasons why you should go to movies as a medium for comic books.
Well, I thought you were... were you making a joke about the Avengers' gross revenue there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
1.5 billion different reasons.
Yes, and, yeah, the Avengers movie, kick-ass movie. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's been 1.5 years since it came out, and I'm still saying it, so I just thought I'd throw that out there.
It's not going to stop anytime soon, man. That movie was awesome.
Though I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about a sequel.
I think, as of right now, I'm getting a little concerned. Mostly because they keep throwing in Quicksilver and other stuff, which they don't own the complete rights for, and they're throwing these characters in, and I'm really concerned how they're going to introduce them in particular, but on top of that, it feels like Joss Whedon's getting a little cocky with how much he can pull off, and I'm really worried about what the quality of the movie is going to be like.
I mean, I'm going to see it no matter what, but...
Obviously, yeah, and it's going to make a lot of money, but I'm just worried that it's not going to be as good as the first one at this point.
Yeah, I think that's everyone's concern because my first thought when I heard of an Avengers sequel, and I immediately was thinking, please don't do it because there's no way you can match the first one.
Well, I was actually optimistic the first time because a lot of movies actually get better with the second one. I mean, like you got The Dark Knight, you got Spider-Man 2, so it seems to be a pretty good comic book trend that the second one is always better than the first. But I'm starting to worry mostly because Marvel Studios seems to be going against that trend with Iron Man 2 and stuff. And on top of that, people are getting a little cocky about how many heroes they can put in that. So,
am I the only one who liked Iron Man 2?
I didn't hate it. I just thought it was less good than the rest of them.
I loved Iron Man 2. I personally loved it. But then, of course, Iron Man 3 came along and made me forget that ever existed because holy crap.
I actually really liked Iron Man 3.
I loved Iron Man 3. I hated it in the theater, but once I got the Blu-ray, I was like, I took a second watch to it, and I was like, holy crap, what was I thinking? This is awesome.
Yeah, it's really, I really love the Iron Man 3 movie and Iron Man. Iron Man 2, I felt took a dip in quality. I didn't really like it as much as the other two Iron Mans, but, you know, I don't hate it as much as other people are like, oh my god, that was the worst movie ever. I'm like, gosh, calm down.
Yeah.
Could get much worse. X-Men Origins Wolverine. What?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that movie. That exists. Aren't we in a Spider-Man podcast?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we're on a Spider-Man podcast. I was just making sure, because I'd like completely forgotten what we were doing. Yes, we're on a Spider-Man podcast. We apologize. We just went on a little Marvel Studios rant there. But, well, not rant, but more rambling. But, so I got some cool stuff for Christmas, and I got a freaking iPad, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I've literally been addicted to that thing since Christmas. Like, I've read one issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's it. I haven't looked at any of the other comics. I've been hooked on that iPad.
Which issue
Number
of
one.
Ultimate Spider-Man? Oh.
I just started at the beginning.
Oh, you mean in the omnibus. Okay, all right.
Yeah. And I did read, yeah, and if for anyone who follows the site, I did get some iTunes credit from various relatives, and I got about $35 worth of iTunes credit, and which is a pretty decent amount actually, considering what I buy, because I don't really buy like movies or stuff. I mean, I have pretty much all the movies I want right now, so I mainly just buy music and digital comics.
Yeah.
I bought, and I'm, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. I mean, I did this because I'm a sucker for this universe. I bought the Amazing Spider-Man movie Prelude series.
Oh man.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
No, just don't read it. Just
Okay.
Please don't. Like, save yourself. I dropped $4 for the 2 issues that it ran. And
for one, it said Prelude, and The Amazing Spider-Man was an origin movie. So what are you going to write about?
Oh no! See, what they decided to do here was literally have it take place between the dinner scene with Peter and the Stacys and the bridge incident.
How do you have something in between that?
Yeah, it literally took place between those scenes, and let me tell you, well, let me just give you an idea of what grades I gave it. I gave the first issue a D+.
Oh God!
And you want to know what I gave the second issue?
An F.
Big old fat F. It was horrible. Like, I came out of that, I stopped reading that book, and I was offended. I was like,
They destroyed it?
No. I mean, no, they did not destroy that universe, because as far as I'm concerned, that book does not exist.
Oh, okay.
That book does not exist.
I see.
Because, I mean, it's not even canon.
Maybe it was Marvel. Maybe it was Marvel's way of trying to destroy it because they don't own it.
I mean, I have no idea, but it was just like...
It's a conspiracy.
Yes, it's a conspiracy by Marvel. First they killed Peter Parker in 616, and now they're going to wreck the Amazing Spider-Man movieverse.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just out to make... Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that say, oh, Marvel's out to, highlight the Avengers and make Spider-Man look like a piece of crap, but... yeah, I mean, I really don't agree with that statement. But
I don't agree with it. I think it's a little overboard, but at the same time, they have been focusing more on the Avengers, which is understandable given their current situation in the movies, where they're more popular than anything else in their universe. So I understand why they have so many. It's just the fact that to say that they're changing Spider-Man for that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they also don't own the movie rights to Spider-Man, but. Whatever. That's a topic for another show. And
yeah.
So I just go read my reviews for both of those issues. I posted my review of issue 1 yesterday and issue 2 today. And I actually read issue number 2 twice. Just to make sure it was bad, because the thing was, I wrote my review for number 1 right after I read it, because I knew right off the bat that was a crap issue. I didn't even need to read it again, because it was just like, I noticed so many things right off the bat that it was just horrible. And then literally I read issue number 2 and I was like, this is absolutely terrible. Like, this is worse than the first issue. And I would have written my review on it right then had I not finished reading that issue at 3 a.m. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I want to go to bed. But then so I got up today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I reread the issue, and I wrote my review, and I was like, this is worse than the first time I read it. This is awful.
This is crap.
Yeah, I was like, originally, when I first read it, I was leaning towards a D-. I was like, no way, this gets an F.
Yeah.
And I don't give out F's off.
Best read when drunk or sleepy, right?
Not even then, because it's like... Legit, there are so many continuity errors. It's like they didn't even watch the freaking movie. Legitimately. It's meant to take place between 2 scenes in the movie. You better get it right.
Really, there are continuity errors when they say it takes place between 2 scenes in the movie. You only have to watch half of the movie.
You don't even have to watch half of the movie. You have to watch the end of one scene and the beginning of another.
Really? And they screwed that up?
Yeah, because, I mean, just go read my reviews and you'll understand.
No, I don't even want to acknowledge they exist, so I'm not.
All right.
I'm not willing to read that.
Yeah, so we spent a good 15 minutes on introductions. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I think that it's fitting that as it is, the final show of 2013, we take a look back at Spider-Man as a whole throughout this year of 2013. There have been a lot of comic series. There's been a whole season of a cartoon. No movies. Spider-Man's appeared in some video games throughout this year. So I think we're just going to give our general opinions on Spider-Man as a whole this year. And then after we do that, after I give my opinion, Thomas is going to give his opinion first, and then we're going to have a little discussion, and then, that will kind of give way into my opinion. I have something that I want to talk about. And if anyone from the Spider-Man Wiki is hearing this, you know what I'm going to do here. Because I've been on chat with them all week talking about this. And this is just driving me insane, so I have to get it out there. And this is probably something I'm going to post on every message board that I can, just to get people's responses to it. So, and I'm pretty sure Thomas is totally scared right now. Because I told him that I was going to do this before the show, but I haven't told him what exactly it is. So he's like, oh my gosh, what is my freaking host going to do? What is he going to do? First of all, 2013, I guess we should just name the Spider series that came out. Off the top of my head, because I don't have a list for this up on the computer screen right now. Off the top of my head, we had Superior, regular Superior Spider-Man. We had Avenging Spider-Man, which ended in June, I believe. We got Superior Spider-Man Team Up, which started in July. We got Scarlet Spider, which is ongoing from 2012. And we have Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, which is, again, ongoing from 2011, I think. And then we also had the Superior Foes of Spider-Man, which is a freaking awesome series that started in July. And,
well, you had a whole bunch of Superior Carnage issues and Agent Venom.
Yes, Carnage and Venom. I was trying to think. I was like, what else was there? I know there was more.
And then there was the small 700.1 issues of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes, we got Amazing 700.1 through .5. We got Superior Carnage. We got Venom. We got we also got, I don't know if this is a Spider title specifically, but I'm going to mention it anyway. We also got that crap 9-issue Morbius series.
I didn't read that.
I didn't read it either because I heard it was terrible. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay far away from that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Far away. But I think that's actually most of the Spider titles that came out this year.
Yeah, I can't really remember any other ones.
Yeah, I mean,
think you covered them.
I'm going through all the Spider titles in my head, that I can remember, and really I don't think there were any other ones. Yeah, I want to give my opinion on the comics. I think we should give our opinions on the comics first. So, okay. Yeah, Thomas, we'll start with you. What did you think of the comics this year as a whole?
Well, I am a huge Peter Parker fan. In particular, I like the character more than I like the brand name Spider-Man himself. And this year really didn't do it for me because there's no Peter Parker whatsoever. In Ultimate Comics, I tried to read Miles Morales for a little bit. He just didn't really hit it off the way that Ultimate Peter did. And I'm glad that he had a beginning, middle, and end story, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me with the fact that Brian Michael Bendis is writing this character in a way that makes Peter almost seem inept to a certain extent. Although Miles does have his problems, it just seems like Miles is handling it much better than Peter did. And so I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to keep up with that. Superior Spider-Man in general has been alright ride. I didn't... the biggest problem I have with it is I really don't like the premise. I've made it pretty clear that I don't like the premise quite a few times on the show. I don't like the premise, but the adventure has been pretty good. obviously I understand that the point of the actual series itself is to show why Peter Parker is the best Spider-Man, the real superior Spider-Man. I still just it just doesn't sit too well with me overall. Um, and although the foes have been getting a lot of really good uh, series surrounding them, and Agent Venom, I actually read a few issues from that, and I really enjoy it, and I really think that it's actually a really good premise overall, and that's and I'll talk about the spin-off Venom movie later when we talk about the movies, but I'm kind of hoping that that's where the direction they go with it. But Superior Carnage, I didn't read that one. Scarlet Spider has been a really good ride for anyone who's read that one. So it's been a pretty good year. I'd say it's probably been a little mediocre, mostly because it doesn't have Peter Parker in it, and he's my favorite Spider-Man. So that's just my thoughts on it.
Oh, shit. Does anyone else hear that feedback?
A little. I think I hear a little feedback.
Yeah. Okay, now it's gone. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna edit that out.
All right.
Because I don't feel like it. That was like 15 seconds, so I'm not gonna edit it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go in the order that Thomas did. Ultimate Spider-Man. I've heard that Miles Morales. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Miles Morales. I've read a few issues of his series, and honestly, there is something about that character, and I honestly don't know what it is, but there is something about that character that doesn't allow me to like him. I have no idea what it is, and I have no idea why. I honestly cannot put my finger on it, and I know people are probably going to bash me for saying that. They're like, oh, you don't like Miles Morales, but you have no reason for it. I do have a reason. It's just I can't figure out what exactly it is. It's just there's something I don't like about that kid.
I feel like they went overboard with the self-doubt for him, like really bad with him. Whereas Peter has always had that amount of self-doubt, but he's always had that sense that I have to be Spider-Man. Whereas Miles Morales, I don't really feel like had too much of a reason to be him in the first place, and it just seems like the writing in there is just trying to make excuses for why he should be.
I mean, I've only read I honestly haven't read that many issues of it, but it's just I think I've read 6 issues.
I've read up to his uncle's death from the beginning, so.
Yeah, I think I've read, like 6 or 7 or so issues. And I cannot get behind that character. I just can't do it, and I don't know why. Because, honestly, it's like, and for anyone who says that I'm racist, you can shut your mouth right now, because I'm not even going to deal with that. But because it has nothing to do with race. I guarantee you, because honestly, there are a lot of times where I've met African American people, and I would not have noticed they were African American until someone pointed it out to me. So that should show you, exactly how non-racist I am. But
I feel like people use it as an excuse to bash people that don't like the character when people legitimately come up with reasons that they don't like the character or don't want to read the series. I feel like that's really unfair. I also think that people use it way too much, in particular with President Barack Obama, and there have been plenty of people that don't like Miles Morales, that like Miles Morales but don't like Obama, and so how would they like it if I went, oh, you're racist because you don't like Obama? So I feel like it's the exact same thing. You can't really do that to everybody if they come up with a legitimate reason for not liking the character.
And see, jeez, it's happening again. Do you hear that?
Not really.
Damn. Oh, okay, now it's gone. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit that out either. Yeah. What would the last show of 2013 be without technical problems? What would it be?
Well, we've been having them all year, so.
Yeah, I think
just keeping in with the tradition, right?
Of course. Maybe watch us go not a single show in 2014. Watch us not have any technical problems in 2014. Watch that. If that happens, I'm going to be seriously happy because it's just like smooth sailing every week. That
Yeah,
would be
that'd be
very
awesome.
nice.
Yep.
That'd be very nice. But see, shit, what was I even talking about? Oh, Miles Morales. There's just, I really don't think I can fit into the category of people who have a reason, people who have a reason to hate him, because honestly, I don't know what my reason is. I know it's there. It's just like hiding behind closet doors.
And I feel like that's understandable. I feel like a lot of people aren't able to put their finger on a lot of characters that they don't like. I just feel like in a lot of areas you kind of just dislike characters that other people like for no reason at all. There have been a few of those for me. I can't really name them because I don't really remember them, but I remember quite a few characters that just really irritate me, but I don't really know why, that everybody else loves. So
it's just like, I honestly can't grasp the character of Miles Morales in a good way. So, that's honestly all I can say about that. Is just Miles Morales, I'm not a fan. I honestly don't know why I'm not a fan, but it's just I can't put my finger on it. If I ever do put my finger on it, I'll announce it on the show. For anyone who wants to know why I don't like Miles Morales, or maybe I'll write an editorial on the site or something, but I honestly just can't get behind this character at all. Superior Spider-Man has been really hot and cold with me this year. I started off liking it. It had a solid first 7 issues, I'd say. A few clinkers here and there, but I'd say 5 out of the first 7 issues were pretty decent. And then issue 8 came along, and I was just like, from issue 8 to issue 13, it's like I go back and read those, and I just find myself really not enjoying them. I just find that, that's 6 issues. So, 2 issues a month, that's a 3-month period where I really didn't enjoy Superior Spider-Man at all. So, that's a problem right there. But then immediately after that, really you had 14 to 21, which I felt was very strong. I felt that those issues were very solid and very well put together. And now we're leaving 2013 with this Venom arc, and for someone who has OCD, I cannot tell you how much it's irritating the crap out of me that we aren't ending the year with the end of this arc, and it's carrying over into next year with 1 issue. Yeah. I have OCD, so that, I'm not legitimately diagnosed with OCD, but, I'm just like an OCD kind of person for that kind of shit. And so, honestly, the fact that that's happening is really bugging me. But Superior Spider-Man, it's been really hot and cold. For anyone who listened to our last podcast, we weren't really big fans of
Venom.
Of this Venom arc. And I have to say that Superior Spider-Man this year so far in its run, if I were to give it a grade, it's
C plus.
I'm going with C plus, mainly because, I'm not gonna say it's neutral or bad. I do think it's been a decent ride. I'll grade it positively, the lowest possible positive grade I can give it, albeit. But honestly, I can't say really that just Superior has been what I want in a Spider-Man book.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it has had more positives than negatives, but really there isn't. It's just there's something missing from it that would really drive it home with me. So, yeah, Superior Spider-Man, I give a C plus for the year. Superior Spider-Man team up. I do have to say, I don't think team up is horrible, but I do have to say that there are major issues with it. The Fomina storyline, which for some reason I wrote a review of issue 4 on the front page, and I gave it an A. Going back and reading that issue now, I have no idea why I did that, because that's negative. That's a big old negative. I don't know if it's gonna be an F, but it's a negative. So I have no idea why I gave it an A in that review. I'll probably go back and change that at some point, but Superior team up isn't horrible. I do kind of like the idea of the Superior 6, but I'm gonna I'm just gonna say, I mean, the Superior Six, it really didn't. It comes off to me as kind of, this should be kind of obvious that this is Doc Ock, because honestly, he's got basically, I mean, except for oh shit, who are all the Superior Six? Because I know it's not the original Sinister Six lineup, but yeah, Craven and the real Mysterio are missing. We've got Mysterion and someone else. Chameleon, that's it. Yeah, I was just trying to think back to that. We've gotten all these characters, and yes, Otto takes control of their minds, but it's like, you know, Otto Octavius led a team very similar to this multiple times. And now Spider-Man's leading this, you know, with all of these criminals who, you know, just conveniently happen to switch sides. Yeah, it's just, to me, that was a weak story. I liked the idea of the Superior Six, but I felt it was weakly executed. I felt that it really could have been done better. What are the titles? Superior Foes. I mean, I've only read 3 issues of Superior Foes. I've only read 4, 5, and 6. I haven't read the first 3 yet. I plan to read those in trade. But I started picking up Superior Foes after I was recommended to it by several message boards, and I was like, I picked up issue number 4, and I was hooked instantly, and I've been hooked on that title ever since. So I really, really enjoy Superior Foes. I think it's probably the most consistently good title to come out of Spider-Man this year.
Yeah.
At least that I read.
Yeah.
I'll admit I did not read any of Venom, any of Scarlet Spider, or Morbius, or Carnage. I didn't read any of those, but
Scarlet Spider has been the second best, from what I've read. It was very consecutively good. It had a few issues with it, but none that were really big. I really enjoyed Scarlet Spider this year.
I didn't read any of it, but I really did enjoy what I did read of Superior Foes. And by the way, I mean, this is kind of ironic that we're doing this show now, because, I mean, I'm going to release this on New Year's Eve, but literally on New Year's Eve, the last day of the year, they're releasing issue number 7 of Superior Foes. So literally anyone who was going to make a podcast, you know, stating their favorite issue for the year, you know, if Superior Foes number 7 turns out to be their favorite issue of 2013, then they're going to be screwed, but whatever. That's why I didn't do that idea. That's why I wanted to keep this show general. But Superior Foes number 7, I am going to read that, and I am looking forward to it. I guess, I don't know if Superior Foes is changing to twice a month. I know that starting with issue number 11, they're going up to $3.99, according to the March solicits.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're going up to $3.99 with that book. Which I'm not happy about, but I'm honestly...
Cool rumors are to be believed that won't be for much longer.
I mean, honestly, given the quality of that book, if they keep on a consistent quality, I will be happy to pay $3.99 for a book that will consistently get an A. I honestly will do that. So, you know, if they want to up the price but keep the quality, honestly, or even maybe improve the quality, make every issue an A+, I'm down for that. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really all the Spider titles I read this year. I read about only half of them because there were some that really just didn't interest me. I didn't find myself being really interested with the whole Superior Carnage series or Morbius, mainly because I didn't even know about Morbius until about freaking May. I didn't even know that was coming out. I wasn't really interested in Scarlet Spider. I wasn't really interested in that or Venom. So I just decided I'm not going to read those. But I did read 4 out of the however many titles were released this year. So that's about half. That's about half of the current titles. I think I'm actually reading all of the current titles right now because you got Superior Team Up, and Superior Foes. what other titles are going on right now? Because Ultimate's in the middle of that Cataclysm event.
Yeah.
Scarlet Spider, Venom, Carnage, and Morbius are all
All
over.
ended.
Yeah, they're all over.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else going on right now.
Yeah, I literally think there's 3 Spider titles out right now.
Yep.
You know, if you want to count the Cataclysm issues of Ultimate into Ultimate, then there's 4, but yeah, I think I'm actually reading all 3 of them right now, which is quite interesting.
The Ultimate Universe is ending. No, I'm just joking. That'll get some people mad at me.
Yeah, I don't know if the Ultimate Universe is ending. I've heard a lot of people say that it is, but I've heard a lot of people say that it isn't, so...
It's mostly the Ultimate Marvel fans that are being like, no, it's dead! It's dead!
Yeah, there are those people out there.
But hopefully it won't, because I actually do like... and there are people that legitimately enjoy it, so I hope it doesn't, but... I don't know, the sales haven't been good for it, so it'd be good to have it kind of go out with a bang, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I haven't really read a lot of Ultimate ever since Miles Morales appeared. I read issue 27, because I was trying to get into Ultimate again, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I picked up the first trade for Miles Morales, because I never actually read his original run.
Oh.
His very first run. So I picked up the first trade, read some issues of that, and I was just like, this is just, it's all right, but it's
just not for you.
It's really not for me.
Yeah, I agree. I totally was trying to get into it, mostly because I really like the Ultimate Universe, and I like where they went. I didn't like that they killed Peter, but I was like, I'm just going to suck it up, and I'm going to read these issues regardless. I just couldn't do it. It just didn't have the same feel when Peter was in the book. Although the last few issues, the last dozens of issues after Ultimatum aren't that good until Death of Spider-Man, which really reinvigorated it. But then he died. So... Which is really what I felt like the book did. I felt like the book kind of just went like, and then he died. It just came out of nowhere for me. So, take that as you will.
I'm going to make a confession. I have not read Ultimate Death of Spider-Man.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't until you read everything else first. It's very consecutively built up. But I just feel like it just came out of nowhere. It really does. It really feels like there was no build up to it. It just comes out of nowhere because someone said, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea for sales if we killed Spider-Man? And everyone's like, yeah, that would be great. So they do it. And it just came out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've read digitally. I mean, I got the first 40 issues of Ultimate, through the omnibus. But I've actually read all of those digitally many, many months ago. So I don't actually remember too much about what happens in them, because I only read them once, but it will be nice to go back in and read those issues again, and I do hope to read most of Ultimate Spider-Man eventually. I do hope to read it eventually. But,
it's very much what inspired the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, so it really did inspire it.
Well, of course, Lee and Ditko and all of them inspired a lot of it too. But.
Well, yeah. I just felt like it had more of a Ultimate Spider-Man feel with the first one. Particularly if you've read the Venom stuff with Kurt Connors. So
yes, I don't think I've read that stuff yet, so
it's very interesting, and I think that's the direction they're going with Venom in particular, because I don't think the alien symbiote stuff is where they want to go. So
yeah. So, final thoughts on the comics this year. Personally,
meh.
Yeah, to me, it was just kind of... If I were to give the comics an overall grade this year...
B- for me. There were a few redeeming ones, but it was just B-.
Oh, see, I'm not even going to be that nice. I'll be quite honest with you. Solid C. Solid C.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
to me, there were, I mean, Morbius, I didn't read it, but from what I heard, it was the most deplorable thing Marvel's put out in a while. Ultimate, I just can't get into. I'm sorry. Superior, hot and cold. Superior team up. Honestly, that had more negatives than positives. And, shit, what was the other one?
Superior Foes.
Thank you. Superior Foes. That is the only really good, consistently good title that I felt that has come out this year. So,
See, I read Scarlet Spider and Agent Venom, so they brought it up for me.
I'm sure had I read Scarlet Spider and Venom that I would probably be more up there. But really, I mean, maybe this is a bad podcast idea to do because I don't think either of us read every single title.
No.
But we're going off of.
No, I didn't read every single one.
And maybe starting next year I will.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I have actually gotten a job since, over the course of this year. So I will actually have more money to buy more comics. Because I used to think, because I would spend, before Superior Foes came out, I would spend $8 a month on the 2 issues of Superior, and I'm like, damn, that's expensive. Where am I going to get $8? And I'm like, yeah, $8, not that big a deal.
Yep.
So hopefully now that I have a job, I can start reading more Spider titles. And of course, there's always illegal downloads, but pretend I didn't say that.
Oh no, implications.
Yes. So overall, I mean, this year for me, a lot of it, to me, it was just lackluster. The comics this year, there were just about as many positives as there were negatives. I would
say there's slightly more positives having read Scarlet Spider and Agent Venom, but I'd have to go with you. It wasn't what I wanted it to be at all. Last year I felt was a little better, mostly because I really enjoy reading Peter Parker issues, but honestly this year just fell short of where I wanted it to be, so I'll have to give it a B-.
I'll give it a... You know what? I'll raise the grade a little bit. I'll give it a C+. C+. All right? C+. Okay. All right. And then other mediums we have this year, we had the
cartoons.
Yes, we had the cartoon.
Which has been the most consistently bad thing that Marvel has published for Spider-Man ever. Ever.
Did you see Spider-Man Unlimited?
I actually enjoyed a little bit of that, to be quite honest.
Oh, see, even as a kid, I hated that show.
Oh, well, even so, it was only 13 episodes, so you didn't have to suffer long.
Yeah, that kind of does actually bring the grade down for me a little bit because they ended on a freaking cliffhanger. I don't care if you were canceled. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah. You really need to try to tie it back up if you're not sure your show's gonna keep going.
Yeah. The cartoon series, I have more experience with this than Thomas does, I think. Maybe if it's only by a few episodes.
Yeah.
I'll admit, when we went into this year, I saw the promos for Ultimate Spider-Man Season 2, and the titles for the first 3 episodes were Lizard, Electro, and Rhino. Lizard and Electro are 2 of my top 5 Spider-Man villains. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to give this show another shot, and let's see how they do with these 2 villains. I watched both episodes, and I hated both of them. I gave the Lizard episode a D, and I gave the Electro episode an F.
Sounds about right. Sounds about consistent with the show, to be quite honest.
I absolutely hated those 2 episodes. And then there were episodes as the season went on that ultimately, the season had its hot and cold moments for me. I enjoyed some episodes, and I didn't enjoy some episodes. Like, the worst episode of the year, I'm just going to say this right now, it was the one where everyone got turned into little Mighty Mugs versions of themselves.
What?
What? You didn't see that episode?
No, I didn't.
You lucky son of a bitch. Because that episode was horrible. It was absolutely atrocious.
Well, it sounds pretty bad, actually. That sounds terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was terrible. I wrote a review for that episode and I gave it an F. So
if I could make it any lower, it would be.
Yeah, I honestly I should have given that episode a G just to like make people say what the hell. But
it was so bad. I had to come up with a new grade for it.
It was so bad that it broke the grading scale.
Yep.
Yes, but Ultimate Spider-Man Season 2, I guess I'll just go and say my favorite episode and my least favorite episode from this year. My favorite episode from this year was definitely the Stand By Me episode.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch too heavily, but it was actually decent.
Yeah, it was basically Stan the Janitor, voiced by Stan Lee. Oh, by the way, shout out to Stan Lee. He happy belated birthday. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's 91st.
Yes, yeah. Because we're recording this on the 29th, I think today is. Yes, the 29th. And his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday. Peter Parker's still dead. Fix it. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, because that's how you talk to Spider-Man's co-creator. So my favorite episode of this year was Stand By Me. It basically involved Spider-Man, Mary Jane, and Harry teaming up with Stan the Janitor, voiced by Stan Lee, to track down the Lizard in Midtown High. It was a very horror movie-esque episode, but I really did enjoy it. I mean, one, it had the Lizard, who was my second favorite Spider-Man villain of all time. Second, it had Stan Lee's narration, which was freaking epic. And it was just, I think that was the one episode of Ultimate Spider-Man I gave an A to this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the one. I think the only other episode that possibly came close to that was the Carnage episode.
Oh, Carnage. I didn't watch that one.
I liked that one quite a bit. I honestly did. And I really did feel that Stand By Me was a pretty freaking sweet episode. And then I ended up literally dropping the series after the next episode. Yeah, that should speak to the testament. I mean, we've only been doing this podcast for 15. I mean, this is our 15th episode.
Woo!
Yeah, we've actually made it longer than I thought we would, because I honestly didn't think we were even going to make it to 10. But when I started this podcast, was I still watching Ultimate Spider-Man? Yes, I was. And I literally watched Stand By Me, and then there was a 2-month break, and then there was a stupid video game episode, and I was just like, I'm done. I was just done. I couldn't take it anymore. And I was just like, there were more negatives than there were positives in Season 2. And granted, I did feel Season 2 was an improvement on Season 1.
Oh, by far.
But honestly...
By far.
Honestly, I couldn't get behind it. I'm sorry. It's just, I couldn't take it anymore.
I hate the cartoon. With a passion of 1,000 suns, I hate it.
Honestly, when you have me dropping a Spider-Man cartoon, that should tell you something right there. Because
I am the biggest Spider-Man fan ever. So
I mean,
okay, I'm saying that with you on it. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're big Spider-Man fans. So when you have us dropping the cartoon, I guess it shows just how terrible and how non-representative of Spider-Man it really is.
I mean, I was willing to give this cartoon a chance.
Oh, I was so ready to give it a chance after Spectacular Spider-Man. I was thinking it was going to be good. They transformed into toasters?
Yeah, RIP Spectacular Spider-Man 2008 to 2009. Just thought we'd throw that out there. Yeah, after Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man is not what we wanted out of a Spider-Man show. It really wasn't.
The Spectacular Spider-Man ended on a cliffhanger, too.
I know. Oh. I've considered, I'm a fan fiction writer, and I've considered writing a third season for that, but I don't know if I want to touch that universe.
Yeah, I think it's better left alone for
Because,
me.
because honestly, I don't think I could write as well as they did, so.
Yeah, just it's better just to imagine what it would have been like. They were going to introduce Hobgoblin and Carnage.
Yes, and maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
nope.
They were never going to kill off Gwen. They were going to do some direct to DVD movies for it, where
Oh,
they do that. Greg Weisman said
okay.
that they were never going to kill Gwen off. So
That's good, that's good. Because I actually like that version of Gwen quite a bit.
yeah, me too.
Um, so Ultimate Spider-Man really was not what we were looking for after Spectacular. So the fact that it did end on, that kind of a note is, the
It's
fact,
unfortunate.
yeah, and the fact that Ultimate is just what it is really unfortunate because honestly, I thought there was a lot of potential to make a cartoon out of the Ultimate Universe. And that's
Oh,
not,
and the fact that you could make it basically like the MCU and have Spider-Man actually in it, there was so much potential there where you could have Spider-Man in a shared universe, and they blew it.
they absolutely destroyed it. They just, we won't go on too much longer about this cartoon because if we both had to give it a grade, Thomas would
You
probably
wouldn't like it
Thomas would probably give it a Z. That's how much he hates it.
because it made me fall asleep.
Yeah, or some
I would have to invent a new grade for it.
he'd have to invent a new freaking letter.
Mhm.
Because it'd literally break the alphabet.
Yep.
This year,
Alpha.
yeah. You could say Ultimate Spider-Man screwed you and it didn't even buy you dinner first.
Exactly.
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 And that's
And
the worst kind.
it gave me a few diseases along with it.
Yeah, yeah. But Ultimate Spider-Man, if I had to grade it this year, D plus. D plus.
Oh.
I'm not giving it a full out F because it did have some good episodes, but
Oh, I'm not gonna be that nice. You better just move on from my grade. You already know what it's gonna be.
yeah, I know what your
Just
grade is
leave
gonna
it.
be. All
Just
right.
leave
Final medium that we're gonna talk about for this year, and then
movies.
yeah, the movies. That's gonna be for next year.
What? There's a trailer and a whole bunch of spin-off films.
But it's not. Nothing came out this year, so
So the trailer came out this year.
yes.
The
but
spin-off film announcement came out this year.
yes, but all right. You can talk about the movies if you want. Go ahead.
No. Let's do your last one first, and then we can go on to that.
All right. Shit. What was my last one? Gosh damn it, Thomas. Oh my gosh. Video games. Video games.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man. What video games did he appear in this year?
Well, there's the Marvel Heroes MMO that came out.
Yeah, that thing broke my computer. I'd just like to say.
It did.
Yeah, it literally crashed my PC.
Well, then I'm not going to ask you what you would give it. What else?
The Lego Marvel Superheroes game came out.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and isn't
Is there
Spider-Man...
anything else?
I honestly don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think there was. Wait, did Avengers Battle for Earth come? No, that was last year. That was last year. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else.
I don't even know what Avengers Battle for Earth is, so...
It's an Xbox 360 game, fighting game, because for some reason Marvel gave their entire team-up license games to Capcom. So you can basically forget about any Ultimate Alliance anything coming out, because you're going to be getting fighting games for the next 10 years.
Well...
Enjoy it.
See, now I'm glad I'm not a gamer. Yeah, video game wise, I didn't actually get to play as Spider-Man in either of those games because I didn't make it far enough in Marvel Heroes to actually manage to get Spider-Man because the game freaking crashed my computer.
I played both, and I got Spider-Man on both of them. Marvel Heroes, it's a pretty decent game. It has a different play style. It's like a Diablo kind of thing. It didn't really hold my attention for very long. It didn't hold my attention as long as I wanted it to. Comparative assessment to DC Universe Online, which I still play. It's a pretty fun game, but comparative to Marvel Heroes doesn't really have anything to contend with it. So I don't really have too much to say about it. It's a decent game, and Spider-Man is a pretty decent character in the game, but the money that you shell out for him is actually a lot more than other characters that are actually better than him because he's so popular. So the most popular characters like Deadpool and Iron Man cost the most, whereas Captain America is a free player because nobody cares. No, I'm just joking. I don't really. That was a joke, but there's Captain America. I couldn't really get into that game, but Lego Marvel Superheroes, probably the best Marvel team up game that I've played ever. Better than Ultimate Alliance. It is such a great game. Spider-Man is funny in it. He's voiced by James Arnold Taylor, so he's not voiced by Drake Bell. It's just so fun to play him along with Iron Man and all the other guys. Just such a fun game. Totally worth whatever money you're willing to shell out for it. So I'd say it's probably a solid B for video games with Spider-Man this year.
I didn't play Lego Marvel Superheroes, but I'm going to give Marvel Heroes an F just because it crashed my PC. I don't care how good that game supposedly was. When you crash my computer, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care. It crashed my freaking computer after 20 minutes of playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed. And this computer is not even 2 years old. And it crashed it.
Jeez.
I was so mad. I was furious. So yeah, Marvel Heroes gets an F. Lego Marvel Superheroes I haven't played, so I'm not gonna give a grade, but I'll believe you on that and give whatever grade you gave it.
Okay.
So yeah, Thomas is telling me that he wants to talk about the movies, even though literally nothing's come out except for the trailers.
And the spin-off film announcement. We should talk about the spin-off films.
All right. Keep your panties in a bunch.
And we actually... What? Why would I want to do that?
I don't know.
If panties in a bunch is like getting frustrated or getting upset about it. So why would you want me to stay that way?
I was trying to quote Wolverine from X-Men 3, and I just completely failed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ah, damn. All right.
Well, we'll start off with the trailer. It looks fantastic, and the movie's going to be great. Hopefully. So, well, it will be great, because even if it's terrible, I will convince myself upon the first time watching it that is the best movie that I've ever seen, because I'm so hyped up for it right now. So,
I have to say that the trailer was pretty badass. I really do have to say. I mean, I thought, personally, compared to the first, if you take the first teaser trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and you compare it to the first trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2...
Oh, God.
The Amazing Spider-Man 1, I love that movie to death. I gave it a freaking A+ on the site.
Yeah.
I will never defend that first trailer. Never.
That first trailer, I just felt like was unnecessary, mostly because it didn't really demonstrate the awesomeness of the movie, and it was just thrown in there because they were trying to advertise it in front of Captain America. That's all it was. So,
I actually went and saw Captain America in the theater, and I swear to you, I don't remember seeing that trailer for it. But
I remember seeing that trailer, and I was like, I really wish they just done Spider-Man 4. I was thinking that right there in the theater, and I was like, I really wish they just stuck with Tobey Maguire and done Spider-Man 4. Man, am I glad they didn't.
Yeah, did you read what they were going to do with Spider-Man 4?
Yes, I did, and I even thought at that point, because I'd actually read about like Vulture and the Vulturess, and I was like, yeah, that still would be better than this. Man, this looks actually pretty bad, and you know what? I'm glad I was wrong. I was really glad that the movie actually proved me wrong. So,
Yeah, it proved me wrong. It proved me wrong, really.
mhm.
But the trailer was awesome. Definitely better than the first trailer for the Amazing Spider-Man 1. You know what? I think. Did you see the second trailer that came out?
Yes, I did.
The
The bonus
international,
trailer.
the
Yep.
international trailer.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out. Best Spider-Man quote of the year from anyone, even if it isn't a trailer. I was cleaning the chimney. We have no
We
chimney.
have no chimney. What?
I honestly died laughing at that. That was hilarious.
Oh my god,
That
that
was
was great.
that was
Yeah,
classic. Like that's probably gonna go down as one of the best Andrew Garfield quotes ever.
I
But
know.
yeah, I really did enjoy both trailers for the movies. And
This I would even venture to say the second one was better, mostly because it showed off Spider-Man's trademark humor. Like when he's walking up to Electro in Times Square, he's like, "Yo, Sparkles," and stuff
yeah.
like that. That's pretty funny. So,
Yeah, I really did enjoy that. And then of course there was the whole thing of, you know, him webbing Gwen's hand to that car.
oh yeah, yeah. When he's like, I'm coming. She's like, I'm coming too, and he's like, it's too dangerous, and he webs her hand to it, and he's like, and he tells her,
I'm sorry, I love you. Don't
I
hate
love
me.
you, don't hate me, and she screams out his name and then covers her mouth with her
Yeah, that
hand.
was
Like,
brilliant.
oh my god,
That was brilliant.
that's awesome.
That was brilliant. I mean,
He's
I'm
like one
telling
of
you.
the only super Marvel superheroes that actually has a secret identity right now, so that's a pretty good way to put it. It
Yeah,
was funny.
it was amazing. I loved that trailer and
Mm.
hubba Emma Stone.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
And then spin-off films, which is actually probably the biggest announcement for the movies this year. I actually talked about how I'd actually like Agent Venom to be the Venom in the spin-off film.
I don't know if you noticed this in the first trailer, but there was
Yeah, the little Venom storage, yeah.
Venom storage.
Hmm. But then
Maybe
there's Max Dillon experiment in there too. Electro was no accident.
yes, there's Max Dillon experiment. There's
Morbius file.
there's a Morbius file, there's a Dr. Connors file. There was a ton of stuff in that. But
And then Doctor Octopus's arms and Vulture's wings.
yeah, that was
Saw those.
awesome.
Everyone was like, "Wait, holy shit! Did I just see?" If you see Seven Webheads fans' reaction to the trailer, they're all like, "Holy shit! Did I just see that?" And it's pretty cool to see what they say about that. But
I will admit, when I first watched the trailer, I saw the vulture wings, but somehow I didn't see the Doc Ock arms, and literally I went on the internet and everyone was talking about, "Oh my gosh, did you see Doc Ock's arms?" And I was like,
what?
"No." I was like, and so I went back and watched the trailer again. I'm like, "Holy crap, how did I miss that?"
Yeah, I saw them both, and I was like, and I covered my mouth with my hand. I'm like, "Oh my god, they're totally bringing him in."
Or maybe
Sinister
they're just
Six.
yes, the Sinister Six. I mean, we all know that's where Amazing Spider-Man 4 is going. So
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Sinister Six spinoff will actually be the Amazing Spider-Man 4, and it'll actually be like a reverse Avengers movie where they're actually teaming up to take down Spider-Man. And so I think that's what the movie's going to be about. Uh, the Venom movie, I think will actually be Agent Venom, and I actually have pretty good reasoning behind this, guys. Venom is an anti-hero and he doesn't stand on his own. And I feel like if they bring in Agent Venom, one, they already have Flash Thompson established in the universe. They have him graduating so he can go right into the military, have his legs blown off, and then become Agent Venom. And and the Sony universe is actually really lacking heroes. And Agent Venom's one of the only heroes that they'd actually be able to have full access to. So I'm really thinking that if they really wanted to make an Avengers-style Spider-Man movie, they really should focus on trying to develop heroes instead of anti-heroes that hate Spider-Man, like Venom. Just my thought process on that. I'm totally thinking that it would be smarter to do Agent Venom. Just my thought process on that.
well, see, I'm all for an Agent Venom movie. I mean, and this is coming from someone who hasn't read a single issue of Venom.
Mm.
But personally, I think that an Agent Venom movie would be more appealing because, honestly, like you said, we already have Flash established, and if we were to introduce the Eddie Brock Venom, we'd have to do a whole freaking
Yeah.
we'd have to do basically
It takes
Spider-Man
so
3.
long. it takes so long to just develop it, you know?
Exactly. So, honestly, I think Agent Venom is the way to go for a movie. I
And
don't.
particularly with the military stuff, it practically lends itself to a movie already because a lot of people like the military special ops movies already. And you can also do a few undercurrents if you wanted to about how terrible war is. Whatever, I don't really care. Um, I just want an Agent Venom movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could work. And the Sinister Six movie, honestly, I said this in my solo podcast a couple of weeks ago, and
Hmm.
I'll say it again. If they make it, if they were to make it anything like Superior Foes, which honestly I know they're not going to,
Hmm.
but if they were to make it anything like Superior Foes, I'm sold.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they'll be doing that kind of thing. I'm really, really hoping they don't screw it up. Really hoping against all hope. I have an even worse feeling in the pit of my stomach than I did during the Avengers because I felt the Avengers was, I felt like it lent itself to success rather easily. A lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I feel like it was hard. I felt like it was hard to do, but I just feel like there was a strict formula you could have adhered to make it good. Whereas this, I don't really know how they would go about doing it, other than doing the superior foes, because any other way that I can think of just doesn't sit well with me. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I don't think this is going to be a good movie, quite honestly.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what they do with it, and really, it's all dependent on what they do with it. So
Yeah.
these
I'm just
movies,
I'm just worried what they can do with it. I feel like Sony is just really desperate to try to get in on the shared universe stuff that they're gonna mess up pretty badly, and I see it with all these other studios. Fox is mess looks like they're gonna mess up trying to bring Fantastic Four and X Men together. What?
wait, are you
Um,
serious?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm absolutely
gosh.
serious. And then DC, which they have all the characters, they have all the access to the characters they want. But what do they decide to do? They decide to do a quick one-off Batman versus Superman movie. Oh, and wait for it, put Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, and all these other characters in it. Why not just call it Justice League and make the movie, and then admit that you rushed through it and didn't have any patience whatsoever to get through it?
Didn't they announce the Justice League movie last year after the Avengers?
No.
Oh.
They said they were trying to get there, but they didn't announce any. They didn't have any official announcement. They had a script in works, and then they threw it away because it was terrible. Apparently,
Yeah, now they're making a Batman versus Superman movie, and they're calling it they're
with
call,
Wonder Woman
with
and
Wonder
Green
Woman.
Lantern and Flash,
How many people do they need in that movie?
and they're bringing in Lex Luthor.
See, I'm not even a DC fan, like in the slightest, and I can already tell you that this is gonna go badly.
I know, and a lot of DC fans really hated Man of Steel. So,
I didn't see Man of Steel, and I have no opinion on Superman. Really, I've never been a Superman fan in my entire life. I've seen Superman 2, and that's it. But
you know how Man of Steel ends, though, right?
yeah, doesn't Spider-Man like break his or did I just say Spider-Man?
Yes, you did.
Superman doesn't
Yeah, breaks
Superman
his
like
neck.
yeah
Yeah.
break his neck?
Yeah, he does. Snaps his neck right there in front of the family to save them, which is an actually pretty heroic thing given the circumstances. It's okay. But a lot of people were really mad about it. I don't really care too much, to be completely honest. I'm just a little upset that he let Metropolis get destroyed. A lot of people were like, well, he was facing aliens. Yeah, but he made no effort to get them out of there. He made no effort. He made zero effort. The only reason that they ever left Metropolis is because Zod punched him into space.
Nice.
Literally. That's the only reason they left. Superman was content with leaving it in Metropolis. And then once the family's in danger, so look at what Zod's doing. You were doing it too, dumbass, but whatever.
All
Um,
right.
I'm. This is getting off topic, but I'm just really worried that Sony's really just trying to rush into this, and I feel like every movie studio just needs to have patience because they can catch up. I honestly don't think Marvel's going to be doing too much extra stuff to build their universe because I feel like there's enough complaints about, oh look, why wasn't Captain America in Iron Man 3? Where was he? Kind of thing. I just don't feel like they're gonna um, build too much outwards where there can be more complaints like that for every movie they do. So I feel like there's plenty of room to catch up. Just be patient and don't try to cash in all at once. But you know what? Whatever. People are just too desperate to get money. I guess that's what runs the world. But
I personally thought Iron Man 3 was a good standalone Marvel movie.
I thought it was a good standalone Marvel movie. I do. But I get really ticked off when people are like, "Why wasn't Captain America in it?" Because it's a freaking Iron Man movie. That's why.
Yeah, and yeah, just people just shut up. I hate fans sometimes. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Comic book fans are just so willing to not only hate things, which is fine after you've seen it, but even pre-hate things before they've even seen it for real.
Hey, I'll admit I'm guilty of that.
I'm guilty of it too, and I feel so bad that I'm such a hypocrite when I say that sometimes. But to be completely honest, I hate when I do it, and I hate when other people do it too.
Yeah.
Hate it.
All right. So that's basically going to do it for this episode of the podcast. I know you all were expecting some sort of announcement by me, but ultimately that's not going to happen because the show is over an hour long, and I really don't want to bore you with that. So we hope everyone has a fantastic new year, and we will see you back here for the first show of 2014.
Yeah.
All right.
And we will be talking about the new footage from Sony that Sony came out with on New Year's Eve for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that I'm not going to get to see because I have to freaking work that night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Though it'll be up on YouTube afterwards, probably. So.
I'm sure it will be, but I'm not going to get it. But it's not going to... I'm sorry, it's not going to go up on the site immediately when it comes out because I have to freaking work, so...
I'm sorry.
Unless Thomas wants to put it up, which would be nice.
I could. Just tell me how, but we won't bore the podcast people with it. So.
All right, that'll be good. So everyone have a great new year, and we will see you in 2014.
Woo!
See you later.